So tonight I had the extreme pleasure of being able to show Caleb Dirty Work, Norm Macdonald's movie, for the first time.
I had the extreme pleasure of watching it.
Yes, I am very happy that you had a great time.
I had a fantastic time. This is one of the best movie watching experiences I've had in I don't even know how long.
I'm very glad because this past month we've been watching nothing but shit for the most part.
Yeah, for this podcast and just in my personal life, everything I watch kind of disappoints me.
Yeah.
You know, at the very least, it's like I'm fine. But this is the first time in a while that I had like this. I had like a giddy energy watching something new for the first time.
So, Dirty Work, 1998, directed by Bob Saget. Did you know that going into this?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. I believe this was his first direction.
I don't know anything about Bob Saget, although I knew he had involvement in this from following Norm's podcast and Saget being a guest on it and reading comments and like learning about their relationship. Not that I know a ton about it, but I know that he directed this, and I think it's the one time they like professionally, like this is the only film they did together.
I believe so, yes.
Like Norm is kind of weird where he like didn't work.
Yeah, Norm hated working.
He like didn't make things, which is maddening, but anyway.
He had no respect for comedy, but he also did in the sense that he just didn't care.
He's better at it than most.
Yes.
Yet he wouldn't do it.
For the record, we're huge Norm Macdonald fans.
Gigantic Norm Macdonald fan.
We respect him so
Absolutely.
much.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. Both Norm and Bob, honestly. And Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. So getting into the cast, Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang are two best friends from childhood who need to raise $50,000 to get Artie Lang's dad a heart transplant. Mm-hmm. They suck at every job, so they decide, we know how to mess with people, so we're going to turn that into a job.
It's kind of a flip on, like, I don't know how many SNL comedies you've seen from the 90s especially.
A fair amount.
Or like just movies from SNL alum. Almost all of them have the exact same story where there's the guy who's like a loser. There's a girl that is like out of his league who for some reason kind of gives him a chance. And the plot is that he is needing to prove himself somehow to the girl, but also to like a family member, often a father figure, something, whatever. Some kind of competition or something with a villain played by the villain in this movie. I don't know that guy's name, but he's like the Happy Gilmore villain. Mm-hmm. He's like 90s comedy, snarky, rich guy villain.
Yeah, so Dirty Work isn't breaking any new ground by any means, but it is doing what has been done already very well. Better
than any other SNL. It has all of those beats, but it actually makes sense. It's actually funny. There's no scene that I would ever fast forward from this, which I can't say about any Adam Sandler movie or any Will Ferrell, like Jim Downey. Like, yeah, I knew while watching this that because I forget if it actually had writing credits at the front, but I just knew that this movie had at least more than one writer, and that at least one of the writers was an SNL writer. And after Googling it right after I finished, I was correct. Mm-hmm. It's written by 3 people, one of them being Norm, which you can also tell while watching it.
Yeah, very obvious.
There's a lot of Normisms in the script, which I took some notes on as we watched, and we'll get to that. But all of those SNL movies, they always suck. They're always terrible. And
for the most part.
Not that this is based on an SNL sketch, but it's a very, there's a lot of SNL cast in it. If it wasn't directed by Saget, it probably would have been directed by... Who's that hack that does the Adam Sandler movies? Now he directs, like, Deadpool movies and stuff.
Sean Levy?
Yes, Sean Levy, and there's another one, too, who did even more Adam Sandler movies. I'm going to Google his name.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll say some notes about this. So, if you had to take a guess, what would you think the budget of this movie is? This came out in 98, so it's 90s dollars.
I mean, it looks like it would have cost 20.
20? Surprisingly, 13 million.
Okay.
And I do have to say something. This movie, we were talking about this, especially during the bar scenes. This movie looks beautiful sometimes. Genuinely.
It's more well shot than most comedies, like, ever.
Yes, their wardrobe, especially. Hats off. I mean, Norm is just wearing a flannel, but yeah, the set design, the lighting, way better than it has any right to be for a movie like this. Not that it always has to be bad, but they really were. It was competently shot.
It kept occurring to me, so at a certain point I pointed it out, or I just said it out loud, like, every single scene in this movie is pleasing to look at. Most comedies look like shit. I mean, most comedies aren't lit. They're just, they're lit, but they're just like, it's just flat. You know, you watch it doesn't really look like a movie. It looks like a bunch of people had to hang some lights to film the scene where Will Ferrell's gonna, like, scream at somebody. But this movie looks like a movie. Yeah. Really well shot. The bar scenes look like scenes out of Blood Simple. It's
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to hype it up too much. Take a look at the bar scenes in this. It has, like, the bisexual lighting on Chris Farley, like the blue and pink and purple.
Okay, I get what
we are fans. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Dennis Dugan, by the way, is the guy's name. Do you know that? Do you recognize that name?
No.
If you look at Adam Sandler's career, I'm sure that 90% of Dennis Dugan's credits are Adam Sandler, but I'm pretty sure he directed Jack and Jill and also earlier movies. But Adam Sandler movies are famously terrible. And he makes an appearance in this, and it's one of the only times that he's in a comedy like this. Because I like Adam Sandler as a dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Pretty much 100% of the time. But this is one of the only times he appears in one of these kinds of movies, and I don't want to, like, blow his head off. Like, he's only in it for 5 seconds, and he's playing, like, a cross-eyed devil character, but he works in it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, $13 million budget. This movie famously flopped on release, making $10 mil at the box office.
Really?
Yeah, which isn't that bad. I mean, considering, like you said, it's an SNL movie. I mean, it still lost MGM money. But this is one thing that I want you to guess because it is insane. What do you think the rating on Rotten Tomatoes is for this? Rotten Tomatoes is a stupid website, but I want to see if Caleb can guess.
Critic review?
This is the critic score.
Well, I mean, going off history, we watched this is like an unreleased cut. So the version that's on Rotten Tomatoes is like the original version that has less jokes, but it's not that different, right?
Yeah, so basically, I have the Vinegar Syndrome 4K release of this, which has the Dirtier Cut that just came out. The only thing that's majorly different is there are 2 scenes that have Norm and Artie with donuts on their dicks.
That's the main. That
difference. Is the main scene that is added.
Okay,
because the difference between the Dirtier Cut and the theatrical release is 1 minute. This isn't like a Apocalypse Now Redux thing.
Okay. So critics were reviewing basically this movie just with a couple little edits. Oh, okay.
Yes. So it's not super different. What do you think the critic score is?
I mean, it deserves probably 99, but I'm going to guess, for this kind of movie, critics really hate this kind of movie, this style of comedy. So I'm going to guess like probably like 50 or like 45%.
Lower.
32%.
You got to go lower.
24%.
It is 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, if you're a Rotten Tomatoes critic, you need to...
If you're one of the people writing for the newspaper watching this movie and you gave it an abysmal rating, you should...
That means 1/5. So 1 in 5 people said generally this is pretty good.
Yes.
As a rating it, compared to, No Country for Old Men, maybe it's not amazing, but like for this kind of movie, like what the hell would you want different?
Exactly.
This is a perfect movie.
It is exactly what fans of Norm, who was very famous and loved on SNL at the time. He, I believe, was in the middle of getting fired on SNL for the for the O.J. Simpson stuff.
Probably, yeah. This came out in 98, right?
Yeah.
And O.J., he got fired for the O.J. shit. That was 94, 95. So yeah, he probably was losing his job when this movie was being written. It was probably around that time that, some people from around that scene were like, hey, we're going to save you. Or something. I don't know. I don't know the inception of this movie, but it is one of the better 90s comedies I've seen. It's up there with Tommy Boy.
Yes, this is a cult film for a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this cut came out, I mean, Norm fans and even other people were just like, this has a 19%, or this has poor reviews. Like, this was getting thrashed critically. This wasn't just like, yeah, it's okay. It was getting like 1 out of 5. They're saying Norm isn't funny.
I mean, it's so subjective. Like, sense of humor and everything, like, you know, whatever. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. But if you're a critic, if you're reviewing a comedy, to me, you're not reviewing your taste and whether or not it made you laugh a lot. I mean, like, that should play into it, but your overall review really should be like, is the average person going to enjoy this or not? You know, like, this movie is objectively hilarious, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like, even if you don't like Norm's style of comedy, like, this has so many quality, like, just really good jokes that are there's like a lot of silly humor that you kind of you see it and you go, oh, okay, great, and then it comes back. There's a lot of running gags, a lot of things that are brought back that are like genuinely pleasing, and I think I have a pretty decent sense of humor. People seem to agree with my sense of humor with most things. When I show people funny things, I can make people laugh. I can make them say ha ha he he. This movie's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
If you didn't like this,
Yeah, there is something wrong with you.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, if you don't love it as much as we do, that's completely fine. I mean, some people like Adam Sandler movies. It's not my cup of tea, but he can make some funny things.
Yeah.
I like his more dramatic stuff.
Sure.
But if I showed somebody this and they thought it was just abysmal, unwatchable, I don't think I'd talk to them again. I don't mean to be
Yeah.
drastic, but I genuinely would have a problem seeing eye to eye with him.
Yeah, I don't know how we could be friends if you and me, not you, but like if a person and me are talking and they watch this movie and they found it terrible. I mean, I kind of feel like I just watched my personality on screen
Yeah.
for an hour and a half or whatever, you know? Like, I would take it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Caleb, you took some notes during this, and I'm very excited because this is your first time watching this. This is my first time watching the Dirtier Cut.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, let's get into some of the stuff you wrote down. I'm interested.
Well, the first thing that leaped out to me is I began suspecting. So I went into this knowing nothing about the behind the scenes or who worked on it outside of Bob Saget as director. Mm-hmm. Pretty early on, I was suspecting that Norm was one of the writers on this movie based on the fact that there's a lot of Normisms in the dialogue and whatnot, especially the fact that people, like, everyone, his character and everyone in this movie talks by being like, well, what do you mean you're talking about the whores?
Yeah.
Like, the way that he'll just, like, whores! Like, that's such a Norm thing to just, like, I'm saying the word, like, I'm saying the impolite word, but I'm saying it with, like, such emphasis. Mm-hmm. That's such a Normism, and that is so prevalent in this movie where, I mean, it's not just with the word whore, but I think the word whore is probably said, like, 25 times in this movie with such glee. Whores! Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, he's like, you didn't count on
my.
my army of prostitutes.
Yeah. Come on. Hey, homeless guy. That's a very Norm thing. Like, coming out of his mouth, it's obvious, but that's something where I was watching it and I was like, okay, this has to he's either adding all these lines or he had a hand in this. Because this is such a Norm kind of story. Mm-hmm. He's also a very brilliant writer. I forget if we talked about this. Have you read his book?
No, I read the excerpt about prison.
Okay. Yeah, and that's another thing. Yes, so I've read his book, it's called Based on a True Story, and it's called Based on a True Story, not a memoir.
Okay.
It is basically a memoir, but it's written in kind of I don't even know how to describe this intelligently. It's written in the opposite perspective of the truth. So in real life, he was famously fired from SNL because he wouldn't stop making OJ jokes. He kept poking the bear. He's clearly like oppositionally defiant to any kind of authority.
Yeah.
You know, he kept making the OJ jokes, so he got fired. In the book, the story is that he was making OJ jokes and he felt uncomfortable doing it. And the execs were like, you have to do it. And he's like, I don't know if I can. So he quits. So everything's the opposite of the truth. So you can kind of glean his life story by just interpreting everything as the opposite. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the decoder ring that I figured out early on. It's like, oh, because I knew that. So I knew little bits about his life, and then you can figure out like, oh, the whole thing is just flipped, right? So it kind of does act as a memoir, but it's a humorous retelling of his life and career. Really well written book. And specifically, it's well written, not that it uses a bunch of like fancy language and it's like you don't know where it's going, but it just captivates you. There's no fat. It just moves from one interesting anecdote to another with a lot of humor sprinkled throughout. And that's a lot like this movie. There's no scene in this movie that you could skip. Every scene is exactly as long as it has to be. No scene that overstays its welcome. Every scene is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we were chuckling throughout.
There's so many like really good visual gags, so many hilarious lines of dialogue, a lot of cameos, which also just makes you smile, whatever. I mean, like, some of that stuff wears off when you rewatch it, but highly enjoyable experience watching. And I wrote down, like, okay, Norm has to have written this, because I can't even really put my finger on why, but it just reminded me of reading his book. It's like we were talking about the other day. It's like these little moment to moment impulses of like a little bit of something that kind of like strings you along, like little tiny story threads, but mostly just gags and irreverent humor that is poking the eyes of the things that you're not supposed to say or do, which really turns on my brain. Like, that is my favorite kind of humor, is just saying the thing you're not supposed to say.
Yes.
Some might call that cheap humor. I mean, I don't know. Makes me laugh.
Yes, and that's the most important part. Norm, I feel like, made this movie primarily for himself.
Yeah.
That he would be proud of putting out in the world, but really he's just like, I need to prove that I can like make a movie with my style of humor and that somebody out there is going to actually like it. I mean, he never really wanted praise of any kind, but I mean, everybody deep down wants to be validated by their fans, saying that you are funny, and it is very funny.
And if there's anyone who's not searching for that, it is him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a real enigma. I don't know if you've tried to understand him, like the real him, if there is a real him.
He keeps everybody at, arm's length.
Yes. I mean, famously, keeping the cancer a secret. Yeah. But outside of that, like, he's really hard I'm a big fan of him and have consumed probably everything you can publicly of him talking, people talking about him, whatever. It's really difficult to get a feel like you can know him. There's a lot of celebrities, there's a lot of people I've never met, but I do feel like I kind of know who they are. And he's very tricky for me to confidently feel that way. I do have somewhat of a sense. And I mean, like the tape recorder bit in this movie, the note to self, this, that, the other. I could be misremembering. I think that somebody said, like, when he wrote that book, he was like very against writing a celebrity memoir. He's like, that's, garbage, whatever. And then he did it. And that's very Norm. Like, it's very consistent with a lot of Norm stories of how he would be like very opposed to something and then be like, that's for sellouts. And then he would just do it. He's a famous gambling addict.
Yes.
He had a lot of addictions, and he was a very, I guess he's like the perfect example of like the duality of man. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, because one thing that people need to learn about Norm is he is very intelligent.
Yes.
Yes, he knows a lot about Russian literature.
Yeah.
He studies history. And, I mean, if you listen to him talk, he's one of those people, and I believe Orson Welles talked about this in regards to Charlie Chaplin, that he hated fake humility. Where he's just like, when you look at Chaplin, you can see that he's just like, I don't deserve all this praise. But it is fake in the sense that he does want the praise, but he's too cowardly to outwardly accept it. So he has this guise of fake humility. Norm Macdonald does not give a single fuck about anybody.
Yeah.
And he really is just doing it for himself, which makes him all the more funnier.
Yeah, everyone acts too cool for the room, but he really is too cool for the room.
Yeah.
He could give a fuck about money, fame. Who knows if anything he says is true or a bit, but like, according to him, he gambled away all of his money multiple times in his life.
Yes.
So I mean, he never tried to get people to feel sorry for him. I'm an addict. Like, he never, I mean, obviously the cancer diagnosis. Apparently he had cancer like since this movie, basically. Like, people say,
really?
I guess he got his initial diagnosis in like the 90s or something.
Oh man.
You can't trust. I mean, everything. I might as well just say now, so I'm not qualifying everything I say. Who knows if any of this is true?
Yeah.
Because all of it is from his mouth, and you never know if he's being real, or it's from the mouths of people who knew him, who by their own admission are like, yeah, I didn't even know when he was being real. Like, no one really could tell. Like, it's kind of the best performance. Like, him and Andy Kaufman gets too much credit. It really is Norm number one. He is the Sigma fake out comedian, like, enigma personality guy.
Yes. Even Norm's closest friends are just like, I cannot text him constantly.
Yeah.
He'll text me at like 3 a.m. and it's just like, did you call my phone? It's like, no, Norm, you just texted me.
And that's the thing. And that makes me feel like I do understand him, because the number of people who tell stories, because he's obviously intelligent. Mm-hmm. He's the number of times you can tell when he's being real a little bit in certain circumstances by the things that bother him, where he doesn't, because he pretty much always is in a silly mood. Mm-hmm. You can see times where he is sort of serious. He's not mean. He's not hostile, but you can tell the way he's feeling by the fact that he's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And there are times where people, like, there's that famous clip of the guy who's like, Harry Potter is like the story of Jesus, because, and I don't even remember what the bit is. It's just some hack bit where like, I could have thought of it when I was in the 3rd grade, you know?
Yeah, for context, he is the judge on this game show that's kind of like America's Got Talent, but for coming comics.
Yeah.
So he is judging people's jokes, and some guy writes like a really hacky thing about like, I don't read the Bible, I have Harry Potter. And then Norm,
that's what it is,
expertly says just like, actually, J.K. Rowling is a Christian and says that you can predict the ending of Harry Potter if you read the Bible.
Yeah, Roseanne praises the comedian. She goes, that's really gutsy. Like, wow, you're really going out there. And Norm's like, and when it's his turn to speak, he's like, I don't think that was gutsy. I think you actually made some pretty obvious observations that anyone who did any research could tell. Like, she is a Christian. That's why there's these parallels, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. that is the best critique, though.
Yeah, he's just being honest.
Yeah, he's tearing that guy down, but not from a place of malice. He's really saying, look, what you did was hack.
He's being completely objective.
Yes.
And there's so many comedians who try to pretend that they have that kind of standard or that kind of mentality, but really they are just easily controlled by certain, I don't even know what you call it, certain like groupthinks or whatever. Like, Norm really was a free thinker who really did just stand by his own morals and beliefs. I believe he was a Christian.
Yes. Yeah.
He seemed like, maybe he was raised that way, so he just was like open to keeping that door half open. Maybe he really believed, I don't know. But he seemed to really like actually believe in things and actually have like, I don't know, moral fiber. Have a backbone.
Unlike other comedians.
He really actually seemed to stand for something.
Yes.
You know, like he actually believed in things, and he believed in things based on what made the most sense and what he could assert and what seemed to be the most rational approach.
If he was in an actual like intellectual field, then he would have gone far. I mean, if he could have been like one of the great thinkers, if he applied himself in that school of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. Somebody worked with him on the Roseanne show and said that it was really hard for him to write episodes because I remember a sentence that was like, for Norm, writing an episode of television was like giving a cat a bath. Because like he couldn't operate in a structured environment where things had to make sense and he had to do everything. He would add jokes to everyone else's episodes. Mm-hmm. Like he had to be, and that's where I feel like I relate to him a lot. Not that I'm comparing myself to him, but I do feel like I can't operate unless I can kind of be free to just do whatever and at any moment say, fuck this, I don't care about this sucks.
Yeah.
And immediately back out. And to most people that's crazy behavior, when really that is kind of like the only way to live.
That is just the human element.
Yeah.
That is, the human soul in its purest form is just like, I'm just going to do what I like to do, and if I don't like it or stop enjoying it, I'm just going to leave.
He lived his truth.
Yes.
He's the realest of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't even censor that. Leave that in. That's so true what you just said.
He really is. He's
So this movie famously was butchered by the studio. Mm-hmm. Originally, they believed, and I think were promised, that they were going to have full creative control over the script, get an R rating, which this movie, The Dirtier Cut, is definitely an R rating.
Is it, though? There's no swearing. There's no nudity.
You see their penises.
No, you don't. You see donuts. You see a stack of donuts.
Well, I mean, it's very heavily implied. I don't think a PG-13 movie can imply a dude's penis like that.
I mean, Borat. Well, Borat had an R rating probably, but that's for other reasons. Like, yeah. I mean, that had him with the. You can wear a thong in a PG-13 movie, and that's where you see the outline of your genitals. They just have donuts.
They had donuts on their cocks.
You don't see anything though.
There are also a lot of other jokes where they say like, fuck, and or they mention stuff that you can't say in a PG-13 movie.
I'm having trouble thinking. I don't think do they say fuck once in this movie?
They do at some point. I think Pop says it at some point. He must at some point. Anyway, point is they had to cut a lot of stuff from this movie to actually get it to PG-13. And famously, Chevy Chase signed on to this movie. He plays a doctor that's going to give Pops the heart transplant if they get the money. Chevy Chase read the script and loved it. He read the R-rated script. And he was just like, wow, this is great. I need to sign my name to this. And then MGM came in and was just like, guys, I'm sorry. We have to compete with other movies. Can you stop the swearing?
If it's funny, no one will see it. We got to make it stupid.
We got to make it suck. And here's the thing. I mean, the PG-13 cut doesn't suck at all, but you can definitely tell at some points that they're pulling the leash on Norm. There are some words that are just like cut out.
Can you? I don't know about these. Can you tell me?
So there's a famous scene in there where they go to prison, and in the Dirtier Cut they say the word rape, but in the PG-13 version they either completely omit it or they say something else, like they just ADR it.
Is this so? The Dirtier Cut would not be rated PG-13.
The Dirtier Cut would be. It's technically not rated, but
sure.
It would be R-rated. This is their vision.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The Dirtier Cut that you see was the one that was aired at the mall that Vinegar Syndrome, the people that put together this release, they have a VHS recording of people watching this in like a mall, just as like, you know, what do you call it when they just show the movie to people and get like
test screening.
A test screening.
Yeah.
So they had a VHS recording of this Dirtier Cut and had to put it together piece by piece. So that's why in some scenes in the Dirtier Cut, the audio is a little off. Mm-hmm. It's because they're literally doing like a Frankenstein job, and it's not bad.
They're reducing audience noise from the.
They're taking the actual materials and editing it like to put it back in. The Dirtier Cut did not exist before Vinegar Syndrome stitched this stuff together. Mm-hmm. They had the materials, but it just wasn't viewable anywhere. It didn't really exist in the sense of it being like hidden away in a vault.
In that case, I misunderstood what they did. I thought they just took the original work print master copy and they just selected the moments that didn't make the original, took those, remastered it, somehow upscaled it, you know, did what they could to the audio and just inserted it.
Correct. This, it's different from what you said. The Dirtier Cut has existed before, but MGM canned it, which is very funny now that MGM's logo is actually on the box artwork, considering that the entire reason that this exists is because they're fucking cowards.
MGM, I could be wrong. I think Charlie Chaplin's one of the co-founders of it, actually. Isn't it funny how movie studios hate movies?
It is very funny.
And try as hard as they can to destroy anything that's good.
Yes, people who are part of the Academy don't watch the movies at the Oscars. Yeah. People on streaming services who run streaming services are just like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. People always say artists, especially actors, directors, writers frequently say like, oh, it's a miracle anytime a good movie gets made. And you kind of naturally interpret that as like it's a miracle because of just how hard it is and the fact that everything has to just coalesce at once for a good. But it's really like it's a miracle that like the fucking on the studios don't just like destroy every movie, because like the number of stories you hear of like, I mean, because this movie, any sensible person with a brain, if you watch a rough cut of this movie, if you watched this version of the movie and it was presented as like, okay, we think this is the final version, we think we can put this in theaters, to demand that certain things come out of this thinking that you're going to get a bigger box office, this movie is not extreme.
No.
This movie is tamer than most R-rated comedies.
Yeah.
This movie is tamer than most like PG-13 but kind of on the line comedies. This movie is easy. Well, actually, I was going to say this movie is easier to watch with your parents than The Other Guys. Probably not, actually. But The Other Guys, for instance, that's a PG-13 movie. A lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it's so irreverent and so crazy, and it's just funny, and people just, you think it must be, you know, R-rated. It's not. Mm-hmm. This movie, even if it was going to get an R rating, like, you ultimately cost yourself way more money in the long run by butchering the movie, because I, a Norm Macdonald fan, avoided this movie for years because it didn't, like, the poster was boring.
The poster it's just him leaning against a white brick wall.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Yeah, and it's called Dirty Work. And it's like, okay, this is probably going to be bad because most SNL movies are bad. This is like a masterpiece.
Yes.
If you were involved in burying this movie or, you know, cutting it up and making it into the Frankenstein that it was before Vinegar Syndrome.
Yes.
Fixed it yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
need to.
Actually, I guess we gotta cut that.
No, fuck it. Leave it in. Fuck it.
Fuck it. This is the one where we say it. This is the one where we do everything and we don't censor.
Yeah. So, famously, Norm, Bob, Chris Farley, Chevy Chase all fought the studio saying just like, guys, you promised that we could have, creative control, or just like, why are you, we have some serious talent behind this. You guys liked the script, and they just got cold feet because I forget which movies they wanted to compete against when it was coming out. For people who don't know, a lot of studios try to vie for a PG-13 rating because a lot of people won't go visit our movies. That kind of reduces your crowd income. Like younger people, you have to get ID'd for it. You don't have to get ID'd for a PG-13 movie in the US at least. So they always try to get that. That's why a lot of horror movies are PG-13. That's why you have stuff like The Bye-Bye Man or like Wish Upon, stuff that just is terrible.
Yeah.
And maybe if they put in some gore or like scarier elements and got an R, something interesting could come of it, but they don't because they just want box office. Yeah. So MGM in their infinite wisdom decided, what if we try to get a PG-13 and just completely fuck up the marketing for this movie? Don't even really advertise it all that much.
Yeah.
I remember researching it. They're just like, whatever. And yeah, it has an abysmal performance. It leaves us $3 million. And this is before advertising. It's just...
sure.
Yeah, it's just a budget cost.
Yeah.
So they really shot themselves in the foot. And hopefully going forward, people will notice stuff like this and realize just how fucking stupid it is.
I think people have been saying that for 25 years.
Yeah,
I mean, like, for as long as I've been alive, at least people have been going like, oh, like yet another example of a time where, I don't think anyone's ever going to learn, because ultimately the people that make these decisions don't care about movies.
Yeah, they're not going to listen to us.
Yeah, they care about getting home on time to like do drugs and like fuck children. That's like what they care about. That's all they do. But well, there's a few things I want to ask you about here. So
okay,
with them butchering the movie to get a PG-13 edit, from what I understand, the MPAA doesn't actually have like a rubric for how they rate movies. That's just kind of what people say, like, oh, if you say fuck once, you can still get a PG-13. If you say it twice, you can still get it. Then it's an R. From what I understand, they watch the movie and they just assign the rating, like the board assigns rating on how they feel. And this movie, according to the quote-unquote rules about what the MPAA gives an R, I don't think this movie hits it. I could be misremembering, but I don't think they say fuck more than once. I don't remember them saying it once, even. There's no nudity. The only, like, sexual elements of the movie are, like, animals who are not doing anything graphic, but it's, like, implied, like, animal sex.
Yes, there are 2 scenes of animals humping each other, and those are both in the PG-13 cut.
Okay, so then what the... was it literally just the donut shot? Like, why was it getting an R?
That was the most famous scene that they talked about, where Bob Saget and Norm were just like, yeah, that we had one scene that we thought was really funny, and it is a funny scene, but that was the main one that this, the MPA was like, you can't.
I guess we should explain. The reason it's called Dirty Work is, and this all made sense after watching it, but the movie's about 2 guys who start a business where they will do your dirty work for you, getting revenge on people who've wronged you.
Yes.
And one of the ways they get revenge is by sending donuts to people who are eating the donuts, then find a Polaroid in the box with a photo of them.
Standing back to back with erections.
Fully nude with donuts on their erect penises.
I'm laughing about it.
I mean, how did this not make $100 million? How did Beverly Hills Cop outperform? Dude, the fact that they lost money on a $13 million budget for a comedy in the 90s starring Norm Macdonald. Who's the guy from Stern? What's his name?
Artie Lang.
Artie Lang. Not that he was like a big star, but like he's good in this movie.
I liked him.
He's funny, and he must have had some celebrity at this time, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Chevy Chase, Don Rickles, Chris Farley.
Yes, in his last role. Which he does look kind of... When you said that this was his last role, it kind of made sense, because he does look bloated and tired in this. Yeah.
And I'm pretty... Didn't he die from like a coke overdose or something? Or like a heart attack?
Something related to drugs.
He was... Yeah. I think he was... I mean, he was probably like always partying, but like you can kind of tell he's like near the end. It's kind of sad actually to see, because I mean he was always fat, but he does look particularly unhealthy in some way in this. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. The silver lining is that he is very animated in this.
Yeah.
I feel like Chris Farley fans, I think he's fine. I don't, have any super strong feelings for him either way. But I feel like if you are a Chris Farley fan, he does give a very Chris Farley performance in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like if this movie is just like for norm heads, then I guess this role would be for Farley.
And if you're a norm, and by the way, if you're a norm head, like in order to be a fan of Norm, I mean, you could just be some normie who's seen like YouTube clips of him or something. But if you're a fan of Norm Macdonald, you're a fan of subversive, I would dare to say, intelligent humor, but the kind of humor that doesn't announce itself as I'm smart. It's not Bill Maher humor. You know what I mean? It's not I'm so smart. Like, let me show you how smart I am. Like Norm Macdonald humor dresses itself as stupid, but you discover layers on it later, right? Not that this movie is an example of that, because this is a very like surface level stupid, like it's a dumb movie.
There's very little subtext.
Yeah, there's nothing to unpack with it, but like everything's in harmony. Chris Farley plays an insane man whose nose was bit off by a Thai whore. In keeping with the movie, every actor in it is like perfectly cast. Like with my rating system, where I give everything
with your autistic rating system.
My autistic rating system, where I have all these different categories. Like this movie would probably get at least a B+, if not an A- from that. Like I really can't think of anything this movie could have done better for what it is. You know what I mean?
I mean, there are some moments I don't think are as funnier than others. There's nothing where I'm just like, oh, that's stupid, they should cut that. Yeah, this is a very tight, like, well-constructed movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deserves cult status, I think.
Absolutely. And if you haven't seen it, I mean, my God.
Yes.
If you're listening to this podcast, you probably would like it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you enjoy this conversation, Dirty Work, the Dirty Cut?
The Dirtier Cut. The Dirtier Cut is only on the physical release as of right now, but you don't really need to watch it to enjoy it. I liked it just watching the normal cut.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like Apocalypse Now level.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
In terms of the difference.
Yeah. You still get 99% of the experience.
Sure.
With some jokes a little bit censored. And if that really bugs you and you want to watch it, buy the physical release. Support physical media.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll keep doing this in the future.
Buy a copy, watch it, and if you don't like it, give it to the most immature person you know. And you know what I mean? And that you've just got a free Christmas present. You've seen both versions. In the original cut, the scene where Norm experiences something new in prison. Is that the same in the original cut?
Yes. Some of the words he says are different. Like I said before, I believe they censor the word rape.
Mm. And give you an R?
I don't know. I guess it's maybe like, I feel like the MPAA, they just, based on maybe subject matter sometimes, they give you an R rating. Because if you have like a horror movie, most of the time that's like immediately PG-13 because it's like horror elements. Like, when's the last time you've seen, like, in the modern rating system, when they had PG-13, when's the last time you've seen, like, a PG horror movie?
I can't think of one ever.
Yeah.
PG or PG-13?
PG.
Yeah, I can't think of a single one ever.
Yeah. I mean, I believe PG-13 was just made where it's like, we have to advise some caution because we're getting too many angry letters from people whose kids just saw The Exorcist.
Yeah, I mean, the rating system in general is just a scam, joke, farce.
Oh, it's fucking stupid.
I think everyone knows that too. I mean, the game, like video game rating system, I remember not being able to get like M-rated games because it was rated M.
Yeah.
Remember? And then like... And sometimes that makes sense, but there are games that are rated M that are light years more mild than others that have the exact same rating. Like,
yes.
Ratings in general, at least in America, I don't really know much about international systems, but of rating. But
I was actually waiting for a reason to bring this up. France's rating system is hilarious because they gave 50 Shades of Grey like a age 12 rating, where it's like you have to be at least 12 to see this. Just people having BDSM sex.
Does that movie actually have anything crazy in it though, or is it just that the book is crazy and the movie is like? Is there anything? Have you seen 50 Shades? Or at least seen the
no, but I don't
racy scenes from it.
I don't think it shows like. I mean, you don't see penis going in vagina, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the thing I was going to bring up is I watched this French movie last night that was rated PG. It's called The Extraordinary Adventures of Adele Blanc-Sec. It's based on a graphic novel. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is it's rated PG in the United States, but there's just a scene where she's in the bathtub with her titties out, and it's very visible. It's directed by Luc Besson.
Well, that explains
it. But I was looking at it, I'm just like, this isn't rated PG. But the French, they don't care about nudity.
I'll be honest. I mean, maybe this is a crazy take. I don't think that like showing a woman's breasts is that insane for like a 12-year-old. Like when I was 12, I wasn't like, oh my God. I wasn't like, my life wasn't ruined or altered by that.
No.
Maybe if I was a 12-year-old girl, I'd feel differently. I don't know. But like,
you'd have an awakening.
I don't think that's, well, I would imagine, maybe this isn't even true. Maybe this is just like how we're taught to think. I would imagine that like a 12-year-old girl watching that is like, it's like uncomfortable. You're like, oh my God, that's like,
yeah,
that's making me think about my body.
Sure.
But I don't think that's that crazy to have. I mean, like, I guess pretty much any nudity gets you an R, right? Like, literally any.
In the United States, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because we're fucking prudes.
Yeah, that's kind of like, okay. I mean, R rating, you can get into an R-rated movie if you're 17.
17, and if somebody is to bring you into it, I believe they have to be 21.
That's just,
we should know this. We worked in a movie theater.
We did. Although I'll be honest, I never paid fucking attention to people's IDs or whatever. Like when I worked at both theaters that I've worked at, I never, because I wouldn't have, because I mean, I saw R-rated movies, or I wanted to see R-rated movies before I was 17 and got turned away. And I was like, fucking, like, I can't see Mad Max because like, like me and my friends got turned away from Mad Max. Anyway,
I snuck into Mad Max. That's funny you bring that up.
We should have. We were just pussies. We ended up just seeing like Furious 7 or whatever.
That's exactly what I did. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'd like 2 tickets to Fast and Furious 7, please. And they're just like, yeah, boys see that. So there wasn't anything wrong. And then the moment, they look away, we sneak in. That's so funny.
Yeah, the rating system is insane. I mean, people always make the argument of like, oh, you can show crazy violence, but you can't show nudity. I think it makes sense to rate certain violence R-rated because, I mean, you're probably seeing it not even probably. You're definitely seeing crazy stuff at home on Netflix and in video games or whatever. You're seeing blood. Like the fact that blood causes an R rating is like what is this, the 1920s? Like that's so outdated. Like we need a new rating system.
Yes.
Not that anyone pays attention to it anyway. And no one goes to movie theaters anymore. So I guess it's defunct.
So anyway. There's no point.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, actually, you know what? Keep the system how it is because no one pays attention to it. Yeah. I'm really sad. The last thing that I wrote down here as I was watching it, around like 2/3 of the way through when the fish scene happens.
Oh, the fish scene.
The fish scene, guys, you got to watch this movie. At least watch it to the fish scene because it's one of the best scenes.
Give it a good try. And if you don't like it at that point, fair game.
Yeah. 100%. In my opinion, that is one of the most like brilliant comedic bits I've seen in a movie in a very long time. That had me howling with laughter.
He was howling for
perfect.
He was howling for a minute straight.
Perfectly exit the idea, the way it's shot, the way it's performed, everything about it is flawless. But I wrote down at that moment, because it was so funny, but then I was immediately sad because I was like, oh, this movie's like the Dirtier Cut release, which isn't necessarily the original intention, but it's closer to it, was never seen by Norm or Saget. Like they were both dead before this became a thing. Because this is new, right? It's from like this year.
Yes. Well, they probably saw this cut in like the editing room.
Sure.
But this being released and actually being vindicated, that something like their actual, masterpiece has actually come to fruition and is viewable to the, most of America. Mm-hmm. No, they died multiple years before this came out, which is really sad.
Such a tragedy.
Fuck you, MGM, you bunch of
Fuck you, MGM. Fuck you, head injuries for killing Bob Saget. Fuck you, cancer for killing Norm, and probably other people too.
Fuck you, drugs and or heart problems for killing Chris Farley.
And fuck you, karma, for not killing Artie Lang and the fact that the rest of these people are dead. But Artie Lang, who's probably snorted more cocaine than there is mass in this room with his furniture.
He collapsed his nose by doing so much coke.
The fact that Artie Lang is like now Voldemort because of coke, but he's the only surviving member of the principal cast. That is a crime against nature and God. I rest my case.
And with that, we are going to leave you to go watch Dirty Work.
To go watch it again.
Yes. So, Caleb, 2 thumbs up?
Absolutely. 2 thumbs up. Buy this movie. Watch it. Show it to your kids. You know, get a bullhorn and do like Blues Brothers style. Go down the street and just tell the world. This is a great movie. Everyone needs to watch it.
Yes. You can even watch the normal cut or buy it from Vinegar Syndrome. Support physical media. Mm-hmm. The entire reason why this exists in the first place is that people support physical media. It's very important.
It is.
Yes. Patreon.com/YourOlderBrothers. Instagram, Your Older Brothers Podcast. YourOlderBrothers@gmail.com if you want to write us anything.
Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
That's it. Bye.